All right, folks. It is February, what is it, 7th? And I've got, man, things are happening so fast. You can't keep track of this. You definitely need a scorecard. You really do. Trump is moving so fast and so with such purpose. I mean, he's pissed off is what he is. And by the way, I want to explain something to you. I have not been doing this for a while. And when I did try to do it in the past few weeks, I always threw I did a couple of podcasts, but I wasn't happy with them because I sounded like I didn't sound sincere. I'll be honest with you. I was trying to be somebody I'm not. So, I'm going back to just being the average guy. I'm not gonna try and polish it. I'm not gonna do that. I'm kind of a redneck. I'm kind of a country boy, not the smartest guy in the room. I'm just average. I'm in the very middle of your bell curve. You know what I mean? And maybe a little bit to the left, which means I'm a little off center. Um, uh, so bear with me. I'm going to use vulgarity on occasion to make a point, and I'm just going to talk like I would if I was sitting across the table from you at my house. So I just want to make sure that's clear. If you don't like that, then you probably need to go somewhere else. But I am definitely not a Dan Rather or any of the anchors that are on TV these days. I don't speak. What what did Jim Acosta say? The old English, I believe is what he's actually on Substack now, as a matter of fact. Now, this is a guy from CNN who quit because they banished him to the midnight hour. So I'm in good company here on Substack. So if you could, and if you would, and if you haven't already, I would appreciate it if you would subscribe to the channel. The link will be right below the video. All you do is click on it. You put your email address in there, and you get a notification when I post something new. And I'm hoping to do that on more regularly as we get into this I don't know, this groundswell, this organic revolution is what it is. It's got so many moving parts. I'll be honest with you. When I do these podcasts, my mind is going in like six different directions. So I got to be very focused at times of what I'm going to say. And I try to stay on topic the best I can, but we will get off into the weeds on occasion. But I'm hoping this isn't one of them. So I'm going to play something here for you. We're going to talk about the Democratic Party and the mess that it's in right now. And it's very possible, and I say this with all due respect, because I was a Democrat. I was part of this community. I was part of this party for years, many years, most of my life, up until probably 2000, the early 2000s. I was not a George W. Bush fan by any stretch of the imagination, but I could not seem to find I could not seem to find uh, a pathway to stick with the Democratic Party. I just couldn't do it. I couldn't do it. They were going way off base, and we all know what happened. And history is any teacher. You learn from your mistakes. And the problem with the Democratic Party is right now they do not learn from their mistakes. They just don't. I don't know what they're thinking. They You put your hand on a hot stove, chances are you're going to learn from that mistake and not do it again. If you, I don't know, stick your a screwdriver in an outlet and you get shocked, you'll probably not do that again. So, see, in both of those instances, you learn from your mistakes. The Democratic Party doesn't want to do that. They want to put their hand on the stove and hold it there, thinking that somehow or other that's going to make it better for them. And it's just not. It's just not. And they're losing members. People are either walking away from the party and becoming non-political, or they're moving away from the Democratic Party to the Republican Party and biting their tongue is what they're doing. As a matter of fact, the people that I know that are Democrats in the last 18 days have been silent. They haven't said a word. They haven't said a single word with all the things that are coming to light that's been done. And we're going to talk about USAID in another podcast, because that just goes way deep. We're going to talk about the CBS lawsuit that Trump filed against CBS. It could be the end of CBS. So we're gonna get into that at some point in the next day or two. But right now, I want to talk about the Democratic Party and the mess that they're in. And oh, hang on just a second here. Okay, there we go. Doing some business here while I'm doing my podcast. So anyway, back to what I was saying. The Democratic Party is in a damn mess, and I want to play this clip for you because it pretty much sums up the way a lot of people in this party feel. They feel betrayed. So hang on just a second.
This political party, the Democratic Party, have lied to us about everything. They've lied about being the party of the middle class. They've lied about being the party of peace. They've lied about being the party that wants to help poor people. Okay? What the last several weeks have proven to us all is that this is a cadre of criminals and losers and spoiled children of affluent parents who were more concerned about looking good than actually doing good. These are people who were more concerned about looking like they were doing something for the American people than actually doing things for the American people. And that's why I'm so angry. Because this party lied to me while stealing my tax dollars. The Democratic Party lied to us all while they brought in millions of illegal immigrants for their own political purposes for the last 4 years. 20 to 30 million illegal aliens brought in, and now we come to USAID being probably the largest money laundering operation in American history. Congratulations, Dems. You've outdone even Bernie Madoff. I'm disgusted beyond words. Disgusted with the waste of money. Disgusted with the waste, with the fraud. With the way that you people use color legitimacy, and the way you use black people as mules to get us to push whatever agenda you wanted to. The amount of division you used black people to sow upon the American people, you used us for that. And I will never, ever forgive this political party that I've gone through personally. Y'all were supposed to be the party of free speech, the party of women's rights. You have immolated all of those things. And then, as if enough weren't enough, you then decide that you're going to die on the hill of USAID, a government audit. You're trying to prevent a government audit because some of you really are trying to stay out of prison. We see the game now. Y'all been out here telling us that the game was rigged against certain people. Well, now we found out who the people that were rigging the game were. Congratulations. Y'all are never going to win another political race ever again.
Now, having said that, I couldn't agree with him more. That's why I let it play out fully. This guy is spot on. He's saying exactly what a huge group of people believe in America today. They know they've been screwed over. These are Democrats. This guy was a Democrat. You can tell. You can tell it is. You can tell he's a Democrat. He feels betrayed. He feels that the people who he had faith in were doing the right thing turned on him. It's amazing. They may never recover from this. The Democratic Party at this point could, in fact, be a thing of the past. I don't think that's a good thing. I wish they could reform. I wish they could bring a candidate to me as a voter. I wish they could bring somebody to the table where we could have an actual debate. I mean, a single party system in the United States is not a good thing. You need opposition. You need debate. You need people bringing their ideas to the table. And then we compromise and we do what's right for the American public, the American voter. That's what you're supposed to do. This is bullshit. I'm with him. I'm with him. I will never, under these circumstances, if nothing changes, I will never, under any circumstances, vote for another Democrat ever again. Ever. That's horrible to say that. With what they're giving us right now, with what they're providing with us with now. I mean, their leadership is, it's unbelievable. As a matter of fact, I'm going to show you some clips here. We're going to comment on them because it's like it's nothing I've ever seen before. And what's funny is they're doubling down. It's not good enough that we lost our last election. Are they learning from the last election? Are they learning anything? No, they're not. They have no intentions of stepping away from woke, from DEI, from complaining every time you turn around and it's racism and misogyny. I don't know about you, but I'm getting sick of that act. I mean, I've seen this movie before. I have, and I am tired of it. Why would you do the same thing over and over again, expecting a different result? You know, that is actually the definition of crazy. It really is. But no, they got to do that. They're doubling down on DEI and the woke, and anything woke goes broke. It just does. And it's proved it over and over and over and over again. That's why these huge corporations, the McDonald's of the world, the Walgreens, the Amazon, all those, they're turning their back on DEI. They're saying this isn't working, but not the Democrats. No. Listen to this. Listen, you got to look. Now, this is the Democratic nomination convention. This is the DNC, actually. The DNC had a convention this weekend. They're going to nominate their chairman, their vice chairman, their treasurer, all that. Okay. So you'll see from this, first of all, it's a convoluted process. It's so convoluted that people even talking about couldn't figure it out. So watch this.
Non-binary candidate or officer. The non-binary individual is counted as neither male nor female, and the remaining 6 offices must be gender balanced. With the results of the previous 4 elections, our elected officers are currently 2 male and 2 female. In order to be gender balanced, we must...
See? Gender balanced. That's all they're talking about is gender balanced. Has nothing to do with whether or not you have the ability. It has nothing to do with that. It has to be gender balanced. Give me 2 men, give me 2 women. The men may be idiots, but we have to have them. The women may be crazy. We have to have them. Yeah, it's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. Listen.
We must elect one male, 1 female, and 1 person
too, by the way, I don't even know if this guy can read this. It's so bad. He's looking at do you see him? He's looking at the camera like, the hell am I reading? What is this?
Any gender. So again, this is what we have to do for this vice chair race. We have to elect 1 male, 1 female, and 1 person of any gender. To ensure our process accounts for male, female, and non-binary candidates, we conferred with our...
Throw that word in there, non-binary. And the Democrats wonder why they're losing membership, why they're not going to win another race. They're wondering, they're going, what is this? Why are we not winning? Why are we not winning? Is it misogyny? It must be. Our racism. It's got to be one of the two. Or they stole the election. I saw Joy Reid talking about that today on The View. She wouldn't come right out and say it, but her guest did. Her guest said, I know you can't say it on the air, but we know they stole the election, or we believe they did. And Joy had this big smile on, like, of course I know they stole the election. Again, an election denier. In 2020, you were called a conspiracy theorist. But it's okay for Joy Reid to do that because she's black. Listen to this. Listen to this crap.
LBC co-chair, our LGBT caucus co-chair, and others
LGBT,
to ensure
yeah.
that the process is inclusive and meets the gender balance requirements in our rules.
The gender balance requirements in our rules. They have not learned anything. They have not learned anything. Now listen to this. This is a great one too. This is great. I hate to dwell on this, and I got a lot of clips, but you've got to see this because I had to sit through it and watch it. So you didn't have to, okay? And this is ridiculous. Some of the wildest stuff. Watch it. Just bear with me.
So I'm going to, I have a show of hands. How many of you believe that racism and misogyny played a role in Vice President Harris's defeat? Okay.
Look at this.
So
Look at this.
that's good. You all passed.
You all passed. You all passed. Did you catch that? How many of you believe? Now look at that, right over his shoulder. MSNBC. They're the ones running the DNC Leadership Forum. And they wonder why they lost. I mean, is it beyond? What is the world is going on here? I'm getting all kinds of people are trying to call me. I'm sorry. Bear with me for just a second. All right. Okay. Anyway, they don't get it. They literally don't understand it. And I know I'm repeating myself over and over again, but I got to tell you, I'm really I'm torn between being sad about this, that these people are that stupid, and amused at the same time. These are grown adults. These are people with, well, PhDs for one. Listen to this. You won't get, this is one of the candidates, by the way. I want you to see this. This is one of the candidates that's running for chairman. Chairman. Okay. Listen to this.
Dr. Quintessa Hathaway.
Good evening, everyone. It is my desire to be the next DNC chair, and I just want to give you all a little bit of something that's been on my heart here over the last couple of days.
Okay, first of all, she's morbidly obese. She didn't even bother getting up from her chair. Did you notice that? And I don't know about you, but I've seen nothing but enthusiasm in her voice and in her actions. Is that unbelievable? I mean, talk about reinforcing a stereotype right in front of you in a forum that's supposed to be supporting the Democratic Party. This Quintessa. I mean, come on. She's a PhD. This woman teaches. Are you kidding me? And she's a candidate for the DNC chair. You literally cannot make this shit up. You can't. It's like a cartoon. I saw this. I actually tuned in about this time. I had to rewind it. Obviously, it was on a live stream. I thought this was a parody. I mean, this would, correct me if I'm wrong, but don't you think this would make a good Saturday Night Live skit? It's like they're doubling down. Listen to this. Now, and we haven't even reached the bad part yet. Oh my God. You're going to love this. You're going to love this. Now, mind you, she's got 30 seconds to make her pitch for her being voted in as the DNC chair. How does she decide to use her 30 seconds? 30 seconds. How does she decide to do that? Listen to this shit. Now, she's been thinking about this all week. That's what she just said. Yeah, let me back it up a little bit here. Okay. Let's do it. All right.
Dr. Quintessa Hathaway.
Doctor.
Good evening, everyone. It is my desire to be the next DNC chair, and I just want to give you all a little bit of something that's been on my heart here over the last couple of days. You fight on, you fight on, you fight on, you fight on.
The chosen.
Is that not unbelievable? And that's David Hogg. We'll get into him in just a second. But can you believe that? She's going to fight on. She's fight on. Quintessa. morbidly obese black woman who has no business being there. None. She has no reason. It's unbelievable. The entire panel, well, not the entire panel, but the vast majority of the panel were black. And I'm sure that the other half were gay. It's like they're rubbing everyone's, they're taking your face and rubbing your nose in it. And they're thinking that's going to get your vote. And I know most people who are listening to this show right now are not Democrats by any stretch of the imagination. You may have been an ex-Democrat. You may have voted Democrat at some point in your life. But no one in their right mind is going to vote for this. You're just not going to. And you're not going to win any elections with this kind of people at the helm. You're just not. You're just not going to win. And matter of fact, there's another one right here. This is a great one. This one was over the top. I got to tell you. Listen to
your attention. There is a black woman at this podium, and I deserve your attention like the 11 people who went before me. Yes, I am speaking.
She's speaking. She's speaking. She's a black woman. Do you not understand that? I'm a black woman. Please listen to me. At least she got up. I'll give her that. And she's obese. She's morbidly obese as well. She was able to run for the DNC chairmanship. You can't make this up. I know I keep saying that. I'm flabbergasted. I'm blown away. Blown away. Things are going so well for the Republicans. And believe me, they're part of the problem too. Don't let them kid you. But at least they have a little bit of class. You know what I mean? A little bit of class. They may be stuffed shirts. They may be a pain in the ass. You may not like all of them. I certainly don't. And I'm not a Republican. So, but right now, that's the only thing we got. That's the only thing we got. I was asked the other day if there were any Democrats I really liked. We were debating about certain things. And I said, are there any Democrat? You know, she asked me if there were any Democrats I really liked. And I said, Tulsi Gabbard, Donald Trump, and RFK Jr. and actually John Fetterman at sometimes. Yeah. So there are people in the Democratic Party that are actually starting to see the light. Yeah, it may be too late, though. I don't know that this party can be saved. If this is the leadership you've got, after a loss in 2024, it was an ass kicking. I'm telling you, folks, when you get your butt beat like this, and you go back to the tape, basically like a football team does, and you review last week's game to see where you went wrong, you make notes. You say, well, we should have done this, we should have done that. I used to do it in basketball when I was in high school. It just the way it works. You want to look and dissect where you went wrong. These people aren't capable of that. They aren't. Either they don't care, or they think that they're, I guess, the ideas that they have are somehow going to get them to the finish line. Best I can tell. I can't think of any other reason you would be this stupid. This is ridiculous. And this is the leadership. Now, here's the funny part. After all is said and done, you know who they elected? The chairman, his name is Ken Martin. And he's a white guy. And that was the chairman. And the vice chairman was David Hogg. And you know who David Hogg is? He's the guy from the, I can't remember which shooting it was, but he made his name because of a school shooting. And he weighs like $110 soaking wet. He's beyond anything you really wouldn't want this guy on your team at all. As a matter of fact, I'm going to see if I can't find that. He gave a speech after this. Now, I don't have it here right now. Oh no, maybe I do. Hang on just a second. I'm sorry. This is embarrassing. I should have had this already set up and I didn't. No, I may not have it. Let's see. What
the advertising budget?
No, I don't. But nonetheless, it was kind of embarrassing as well. Now, here's the deal. You've got two white guys running the DNC. You've had nothing but blacks trying to get vying for that position. As a matter of fact, Donna Brazile, if you remember her, she was a integral part of the Clinton years in the White House. She was the DNC chairman for quite some time, and it was during the election of 2016. And I read her book. She's an idiot. And again, another supposed educated black woman who has absolutely no idea what she's talking about. She actually thought in 2016 they had a shot at that, and that going to the Rust Belt to campaign was a bad idea. She actually thinks also that Al Gore invented the internet. I mean, I thought they were kidding when I read that in the book, but no, she was serious. Now, Donna Brazile, black woman, running DNC, lost the election. Now, again, they're doubling down. I think David Hogg is gay. There's people representing the LGBTQ community, which is fine. I have no problem with that, but you need to be qualified. So here's the problem. Bottom line, when everything's said and done, what's the problem with the Democratic Party today? I'll tell you what it is. They have no leader. None. There is no leader. There's no leadership in the Democratic Party today. None. Chuck Schumer, he's like 100 years old. You've got Nancy Pelosi. Give me a break. These people are has-beens. They're collecting their cash and they're throwing their weight around a little bit, but they're not leaders by any stretch of the imagination. Nobody's going to listen to them. Chuck Schumer's an idiot. They're so upset about this USAID scandal that's all they can talk about. They're actually embarrassing themselves. It's so bad. They're not arguing about the money that was being spent. It's just the fact that you found out about it. That's what they're upset about. And we're going to get into that at a later date, because that one's a big one. Oh my God. If you haven't been reading about that or looking that up, that is absolutely unbelievable where this money has been spent. And it's all a money laundering deal. That's all it is. But we'll get into that. Anyway, as I said, no leadership, none, zero leadership. We have none. And you know who they're looking to be a leader? You know who they're looking to? Check this out.
Or seen, or witnessed, which, you can probably even glean that from watching these people on TV.
This idiot. When you have to depend on this idiot to be your leader, you're in a lot of trouble. This woman, she gives idiots a bad name. She's so stupid. When you hear the words AOC, I mean, no, mind you, she's on the take as well. Yeah, she started this job she was a bartender. She had no money in the bank. Now she's worth millions. Tell me how that works out. Tell me how that happens. Listen to this. Listen to this crap.
Anyways, all of that is.
Anyways, get that? I'm cute. Yeah. No, you're not. You look like you got a horse face, first of all. And you're an idiot. Yeah. I could get past the idiot part. I mean, no, I couldn't. I'm sorry. That's bullshit. I couldn't do that. No. Let's play it anyway.
To say is that they don't do their homework. Clearly, like, they're putting 19-year-olds in at the Treasury. This dude is not smart.
Not smart. Not smart. Now they're talking about USAID right now. 19-year-old. His name is his handle is Big Balls. If you haven't heard about that, look it up. She's saying he's not smart. Well, that's funny because he found all the stuff. And I tell you what, I'm going to go into this a little bit while we're here. This USAID thing. They're claiming that they didn't, no one elected, Elon Musk. He's the one looking into all this. He's the one blowing the whistle on this. Billions and billions and billions and billions of dollars being spent of your money, your tax money, being just pissed away. Not only pissed away, but it's going in the pockets of politicians just like this idiot. That's who's getting this money. That's why they're upset. They're not even complaining about Let's see, 125 million to radicalize public health. Money was spent, 45 million for DEI scholarships in Burma. Huh? 3 million for girls-centered climate action in Brazil. We got 6 million for tourism in Egypt. 2 million for sex changes in Guatemala. 32,000 for a trans comic book in Peru. 47,000 for trans operations in Colombia, 2.5 million for electric vehicles in Vietnam, 70,000 for a DE musical in Ireland, 1.5 million for DEI in Serbia. Get this one, $280,000 for diverse bird watchers. And that doesn't even scratch the surface. And this is just in USAID, or USAID. We haven't looked at the health department. We haven't looked at Social Security. We haven't looked at Medicare. And they have not looked at the Department of Defense yet. Folks, there's a reason we're $37 trillion in debt. And that money has been transferred from your pockets to the IRS, to the Treasury. And then this money is allotted to programs like this that go in the pockets of these politicians. It's a money laundering operation is what it is. These people should all be in jail. And I'm hoping that Donald Trump's going to do this. This money laundering deal is, Al Capone would be impressed. He would. He'd go, Jesus, I wish I'd thought of that. Exactly. What's the easiest way to get money? It's to take it from the taxpayer. That's it. And this is the leadership right here. Listen to this. She's talking about this 19-year-old whose name, his handle is Big Balls. Now, let me just tell you, the average age in Congress is 58 years old. 58. Now, you're a 58-year-old like me, and I've got this thing in my hand, okay, my cell phone. Let's say I cannot access my emails on my cell phone. There's something wrong. Who am I going to go to figure this out? Who am I going to ask? I'm going to ask my 19-year-old grandson, right? Isn't that what you would do? Of course, that's what you would do. That's what Elon Musk did. He hired a bunch of young kids who know the system. They know how to get in there. They know how to dig it up. They know the system. They've grown up with technology. So when she says that they're not very bright, folks, this woman is dead from the neck up. Listen to this.
Are witnessed. Which, you can probably even glean that from watching these people on TV.
Yeah, like you.
All of that is to say is that they don't do their homework. Clearly, like, they're putting 19-year-olds in at the Treasury. This dude is not smart.
Listen to this one. Here's another one.
Of an authoritarian administration. This is what 21st century fascism is starting to look like. Republicans really model themselves after Orban's Hungary. And so you can look to see how Viktor Orban...
Believe me, somebody told her about Viktor Orban. Believe me, she did not look this up. And by the way, did you comb your hair with a rake today? I swear to God, this woman is unbelievable. And from what I understand, she's pregnant now. But this, my friends, is the leader of the Democratic Party right here. This is her. Get a good look at her. This is going to be your leader. Newsom's dead. He's dead in the water. I don't think he's going to. I thought for sure he'd be the man to go to. But this California thing and these fires, I don't think he's going to be there. I could be wrong. They may figure a way to get around that and to spin it like it's a positive. I don't know. But from what I understand, between him and that LA lawyer or LA mayor, Bass, they're trying to figure out a way to bring in an outside entity, come in there to rebuild that place into a utopia, a 15-minute city is what they're looking for. And I just don't think Newsom's going to be there. So what are your choices? You've got Michelle Obama, right? Supposed to be the savior of all mankind, from what I understood. That's what the Democrats are trying to tell me. If she runs, she'll win. And believe me, from what I know and what I believe, Michelle, or whatever you want to call her, doesn't want the scrutiny, is my guess. Not only that, but they've got their own legal problems. Michelle and Barack are in a lot of trouble. Plus, from what I understand, they're getting divorced. So you have no leader. Name me a leader in the Democratic Party. It doesn't exist. It's nowhere to be found. It's a wonderful thing for the Republicans. For the next 4 years, what did you? I don't know if you saw the executive order that Trump signed yesterday, banning men from playing women's sports. You know, you take that picture of him surrounded with young women from ages, 12 up to 20, all standing around him as he signed that executive order. And he was so sincere. He was so genuine. And he said, "Come on in here. Let's, watch the clip. I don't want to play it, but I mean, he said, "Come on in here." So they got real close. You could tell they were excited to be there. It was going to change their lives. Now they don't have to compete with men. So take that and compare it to Joe Biden, who you could play hundreds of clips of him grabbing women, squeezing them, smelling their hair. I mean, the guy's a pervert. So it's like day and night. It's day and night. So when you see all these Democrats coming over to our side, or at least turning their back on the Democratic Party, it's people like this, people like AOC right here. They're to blame. They thought it was a good idea to do this, to bring this woke nonsense to the forefront. The vast majority of people in the United States do not agree with this. You cannot, when your customer base, 80% of them don't want to buy from you, you got a real problem. And that's what's going on right now. Right now, over 80% of people in the United States feel that we're on the right track again. That's unheard of. That's unheard of. Trump actually has a net positive in his second term, which is unheard of. That's never happened before. There are more people satisfied with him today than when he was than were in his first term. That never happens. Usually people get tired of a president and there's mistakes made. And then the second term, they kind of turn on him. They get sour on him. Not this time. Not this time. Because he's coming out with guns blazing. I tell you what, at the end of the day, folks, I think history is going to tell us that it was a good thing he did not win in 2020. I know, believe me, I still to this day feel that there was a problem with that election. I have no doubt there was. But I think the powers that be it divine intervention, whatever, I think God didn't think we'd suffered quite enough. I think that's what it was. And it gave Trump 4 years to learn, to figure out how this game worked and how to play it. And he made the greatest comeback in political history. And I mean from our inception, there's never been a bigger one. There really hasn't. This is unheard of. Now, the next 4 years are going to be a lot of fun. So I'm going to be here as often as I can because this is therapy for me. And I appreciate you listening. I do. Be sure and subscribe. And we'll see you next time. You guys have a good day. All right. Peace out.